Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of my tutorial video channel. In this video, I will discuss short-run equilibrium of a perfectly competitive firm in differential cost conditions. In my earlier video, I have discussed short-run and long-run equilibrium of perfectly competitive firms under identical cost conditions. And in this video, I will discuss the short-run equilibrium of the perfectly competitive firm under differential cost conditions. Now, I would once again discuss in nutshell the short-run equilibrium under identical cost conditions of a perfectly competitive firm so that you can get fullest insight while you will watch this video, that is the short-run equilibrium of a firm under differential cost conditions under perfect competition, right? What is the difference between identical cost conditions and differential cost conditions? When you say that the firms are operating under identical cost conditions, this means that all the firms have the same level and shape of their cost curves. That is the average cost curve and the marginal cost curve of same shape and size for all the firms. Why this happens? This happens because all the firms are employing homogeneous factors of production. The factors of production are homogeneous in all respects. That means the efficiency or quality of raw material, productivity of labor, productivity of plant and machinery, efficiency of management, geographical location of the farm. Now by geographical location, we mean that the transport cost and loading and unloading cost are same for all the farms. And finally, and very importantly, difference in efficiency of the entrepreneurs. Due to these, in the short run, the perfectly competitive firms will either earn supernormal profit or will earn only normal profit or will incur loss. So there are three possibilities. All the firms in short run perfect competition under identical cost conditions employ homogeneous resources oblique factors of production. So all the firms in short-run perfect competition under identical cost conditions employ homogeneous resources. That is, the factors of production are identical in all respects. So the price determined in the industry by the interaction between demand and supply is accepted by all the firms, and the firms in a perfectly competitive market has no influence over price. It cannot change the price. The firms are merely price takers. If the cost conditions are identical, that is, if the factors of production are absolutely homogeneous for all the firms, then the firms' average cost curve and marginal cost curve will be of same shape and size. So all the firms may earn supernormal profit all the firms may earn only normal profit, and finally all the firms may incur loss, that is abnormal loss. When profit is more than normal profit, we call it supernormal profit, and when the firm is not even able to earn the normal profit, then the firm is said to be incurring loss. That is called abnormal loss. So here all the firms on x-axis we measure quantity and on y-axis we measure price, average revenue, marginal revenue, average cost and marginal cost. Price is given. Now all the firms may earn supernormal profit. This is the marginal cost curve. This is the marginal revenue curve, which is also the average revenue curve of a perfectly competitive firm. Both intersect at this point. Let this point be R. Now, suppose this is the average cost curve of all the firms. This is AC of all the firms. MC must intersect AC at the latest minimum point. So let this be the AC of all the firms. Correct? Now this is equilibrium output. Say this is Q sub 0 and let the price be P sub 0. P sub 0 is the price determined in industry by the interaction between demand and supply, and that price is accepted by all the firms operating in the perfectly competitive market, and all the firms have similar shape and level of costs. That is, this is the average cost curve for all the firms and this is the marginal cost curve for all the firms. Now you see the average revenue curve lies above the average cost curve. Hence, this is the amount of profit all the firms are earning. All the firms are earning same amount of profit. Let this be point M and let this be point N. So the supernormal profit of all the firms will be equal to P sub 0 R M N. This is the supernormal profit earned by all the firms. Correct? Now come to the another alternative scenario, that is all the firms may earn only normal profit. Here we'll have a diagram like this. This is the price. This is MC, marginal cost curve. This is MR is equal to AR. On x-axis we measure quantity and on y-axis we measure price, AR, MR, AC and MC. So MR and MC intersect at this point. Let this point be U. Price is P sub 0. So equilibrium quantity will be say OQ sub 0. Okay. Now suppose the average cost curve of all the firms are like this one. This is the average cost curve. That is the average revenue or the marginal revenue curve is tangent to the minimum point of the average cost curve. That is the reason the firms are neither earning any profit nor incurring any loss. That is to say, the firms are neither earning any supernormal profit or incurring any abnormal loss. The firms are only earning normal profit. So here there is no supernormal profit, neither there is any abnormal loss. Now come to this figure. But all the firms are incurring abnormal loss. Q, and on y-axis we measure price, AR, MR, AC and MC. This is the price. This is AR equal to MR. Price is P sub 0. Fixed in the industry by the interaction of demand curve and supply curve. Say this is the MC of all the firms operating in the market. So here MR and MC intersect at this point. Let this point be K. This point be K. And suppose this is the average cost curve of all the firms. Here the average cost curve lies above the average revenue curve. So the firms are incurring loss. And what is the amount of loss? This is the equilibrium quantity of output. Say this is point P, this is point S, and this is V. So the area of this rectangle, that is P sub 0 T S V, is the amount of loss incurred by each firm. Correct? In this case, what will be the total output in the industry? If there is m number of firms, then total output will be m into Q sub 0. Here it will be m into Q sub 0, m into Q sub 0. We assume the equilibrium quantity as Q sub 0 in all the cases. So this is short-run equilibrium of perfectly competitive firm under identical cost conditions. Now in this video, I shall focus on the equilibrium under differential cost conditions. Now what is meant by differential cost conditions? Differential cost conditions arise due to employment of heterogeneous factors of production by the different firms. This means all the firms are employing heterogeneous factors in terms of quality of labor, in terms of productivity of labor, quality of raw material, efficiency of management, productivity of plant and machinery, and efficiency of the entrepreneur. These things are different in case of differential costs. So I am erasing this part because I have to discuss the short-run equilibrium under differential cost conditions. Okay. This was for quick recap. I have already discussed these things in earlier videos. So I am erasing this part. Yeah. So differential cost conditions. This means the resources of the different firms are of different levels of efficiency. The firms have different cost conditions. Different cost conditions, that is to say, the average cost and marginal cost curves, shapes and levels are different for different firms. Because they employ employ heterogeneous factors of production. Some firms are able to employ more efficient resources. Some firms are able to employ less efficient resources. That is why their costs are also different. Now, in such cases, some firms will earn supernormal profit. Those firms who are able to employ resources, efficient resources, will earn supernormal profit. Some firms, those who are not able to employ efficient resources, will incur abnormal loss. And some firms who can employ resources, mediocre level of resources, will earn only normal profit. So, in the short run, some firms will earn supernormal profit, some firms will earn only normal profit, and some firms will incur abnormal loss. These firms are employing most efficient resources, efficiency in terms of productivity of material, productivity of labor, efficiency of management, efficiency and productivity of plant and machinery, size of plant and machinery, and of course efficiency of the entrepreneur. So some firms will earn only normal profit. Here these firms employ most efficient resources, and these firms employ least efficient resources. And these firms employ mediocre efficient resources. That is in between this category of firms and this category of firms. So in the short run, some firms will be able to earn supernormal profit, some firms will be able to earn only normal profit, and some firms, because of the deployment of least efficient resources, will incur abnormal loss. Now let us see the diagrams. On x-axis we measure quantity, on y-axis we measure price, AR, MR, AC and MC. Same thing we do here and here also. So price is fixed in the industry. Firms cannot influence the price. Okay. Say this is the marginal cost curve of, say this is category A, this is category B, and this is category C. One category consists of a number of firms. Now this is the AR and MR curve. same curve, AR and MR are same for all the firms because price is same for all the firms. Here MC and MR intersect at this point. So this is the equilibrium quantity of the supernormal profit earning firms. Let this be S. Q sub S, let this be Q sub S, this be Q sub S, price is P sub 0 for all the firms. Let this be the average cost curve of category A firms. This is short-run average cost curve. So short-run marginal cost curve and the marginal revenue curve intersect at this point. Let this point be M and let this point be N. So let this point be R. So each firm will earn a supernormal profit equal to the area of this rectangle, that is P sub 0 M N R. P sub 0 M N R is the amount of supernormal profit earned by each firm in category A. Right? So this is super normal profit. Now come to category C firms. This is the MR curve, which is also the AR curve. This is P sub 0 price. Price is fixed in the industry. Firms cannot change the price. Let this be the marginal cost curve of category C firms. Now MR and MC intersect at this point. Let this point be, that is equilibrium quantity, be Q sub E, and let this be the average cost curve, short run average cost curve of all the firms under category C. This is SMC. This is short run marginal cost curve. This is short run average cost curve. These are average revenue and marginal revenue. Of course, short run average revenue and short run marginal revenue curves. Here you can see that the short run average cost curve lies above the short run average revenue curve. That means cost is more than revenue. That is, the firms are incurring loss. And what is the area of the loss? Let this point be, that is the point on the AC curve, B, say T, let this point be U and this point be V. So the firms under category C will incur a loss area of the rectangle P sub 0 V T U. This is loss. Each firm will earn a loss equal to the area of the rectangle P sub 0 V T U, and total loss in the industry will be, if there are M numbers of firms, then M into the area of the rectangle. Now come to category B firms. This is the average revenue and marginal revenue curve. Let this be the MC, short run marginal cost curve of the firms who are employing resources. Those are efficiency in between category A and category C firms. So here the marginal revenue and marginal cost curve intersect at this point. Let this point be L. Suppose this is the short run average cost curve of the firms under category B. Now SMC and the marginal cost curve, marginal equilibrium curve intersect at this point. So let the equilibrium quantity be Q sub T. You see, the average cost curve is equal to the marginal revenue, which is equal to the price, which is equal to the average revenue. The average revenue curve is just tangent to the average cost curve. So here the firms are neither earning any profit nor incurring any loss. Correct? So the conditions of equilibrium, as we have studied in case of short-run equilibrium of perfectly competitive firm under identical cost conditions, equally apply here. What are the conditions? The condition number 1, conditions of equilibrium. Number 1, P equals to AR equals to MR equals to MC. This is the necessary condition. This is the necessary condition. And number 2, MC must cut the MR curve from below. MC must cut the MR curve from below. You see, in all these 3 figures, MC is hitting the marginal revenue curve from below when it is rising. Okay. So here we have discussed short-run equilibrium of a perfectly competitive firm under differential cost conditions. The reasons of differential costs or cost differences between different firms arise due to heterogeneity of factors. The firms employ heterogeneous factors. The raw material, the labor, the plant and machinery, the management and the entrepreneur all have different capacity or different efficiency levels. We have categorized all the firms into 3 categories: category A, category B and category C. Now category A firms are employing the most efficient resources. As a result, their productivity is higher related to other firms, which in turn means their cost of production is lower related to other firms. In category B, we have grouped those firms which are employing the resources which have efficiency not least but not maximum. That is the medium level of efficiency. And in category C, we have considered those firms who are employing the least efficient resources. The firms, those are employing the most efficient resources, will be earning supernormal profit, and the firms employing the least efficient resources will be incurring abnormal loss. And in between these 2 categories, the firms under category B will be able to earn only normal profit. So in the short-term equilibrium, firms in a perfectly competitive market under differential cost conditions, some firms would earn supernormal profit, some firms would earn only normal profit, and some firms would incur abnormal loss. Correct? Yeah. Whereas in case of identical cost conditions, all the firms would incur abnormal loss, or all the firms would earn supernormal profit, or all the firms would earn only normal profit. In case of differential cost condition, we use the word some. Some firms will be earning supernormal profits, some firms will be incurring abnormal loss, and some firms will be earning only normal profit when the firms are operating in differential cost conditions. And in case of identical cost conditions, all the firms will be earning supernormal profit, or all the firms will be earning only normal profit, or all the firms will be incurring abnormal loss. So this is the basic difference between short-run equilibrium of perfectly competitive firm under identical cost conditions and short-run equilibrium of perfectly competitive firm under differential cost conditions. Correct? And the necessary and sufficient condition. This is the sufficient condition. Number 2 is sufficient condition. The necessary and sufficient conditions, as we have seen in case of short-run equilibrium of the perfectly competitive firm under identical cost conditions, equally apply in case of differential cost conditions. And what are the conditions? Price will be equal to AR, which is equal to MR, which is in turn equal to MC. The equilibrium quantity is determined by the intersection of MR and MC, and this is the necessary condition. And what is the sufficient condition? The sufficient condition tells that MC must hit the MR curve from below. Correct? Yeah. So far so good. I believe this is well understood by you. Still, should you have any doubt in your mind, if you have any particular question, particular query, if you need further insight into the topic, into the subject, please feel comfortable to let me know through the comment section. I shall be glad to respond to all your relevant queries. If you think this video is beneficial for you, it is useful for you, please do share the video with your friends, brothers, sisters and colleagues. And finally, thank you very much for your precious time. Stay well and goodbye.